they need to do to qualify.
Seven, calm down. I know you're excited. I know you want to see what's going to happen. You can hear the music. You can see the plane come in just a few moments as well. It is time to get underway here with our final match here of the All-Star stage at PMWI. Let's find out who's going to make it into the main event.
Go. Here we go. It all comes down to this, the final match of the PUBG Mobile World Invitational All-Star Stage, presented by Honor Magic 5 Pro. This is it, Calaris.
Yes, it is. And for a lot of these teams here, there is still an opportunity to strike out at that top 7. We've seen, technically, Bigatron could be kind of that cutoff point that I was mentioning before, but I mean, with a finish like that, that was a golden opportunity to do so, and I do feel like there was indecisiveness about how they were kind of approaching that final moment. The 2-2 split, the rendezvousing together, back and forth, then they split again, then they get back together, then they just holding and not asserting. And I don't know if they can do it here. We'll see as time goes on. What do you think?
Man, I think that Bigatron should have pushed D plus Kia earlier. When they were down and just trying to res, Bigatron, you could just see it. The indecisiveness, they decided to let them res up, said, hey, we just want to get to the late game. And that decision, I think, cost them. They were so down and out. If they would have just full pushed. Another southern zone.
Yep, that's quite the circle. Hey, let's go Los Leones again. Whatever. I wouldn't mind a repeat of that previous game, if I'm honest. Because talk about clutch factor. You said it yourself. Talk about clutch factor coming in from D plus Kia, who found themselves in second place. DRS is not going to be happy. They were actually out of the plane almost first, to be honest with you. They dropped straight down next to Hacienda del Patron and got themselves that split going because the plane went straight over it. So they're going to get looted fast. I think DRS is going to start rotating fast, and maybe they play that Fury Road style again I was quoting earlier.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I think they have to at this point because that is insane. D plus Kia, I thought that DRS was almost guaranteed second place with just that little point bump, but D plus Kia refused to go down, and now we have seen them jump them. Now, for everybody that could possibly just be tuning in for the first time, you could see the leaderboards right there on your right-hand side. It is top 6 that make it over to the main stage. But Alpha 7 has already previously qualified to that stage. So because of that, it is now down to top 7. Aegon I8, 2-point difference. S2G, 10-point difference. BTR with a 12. That is not going to be easy here because you have to make sure you out-frag Aegon. That's if they go out early. And then not to mention, all those teams below them?
Yes.
They can pretty much do whatever they want.
So keep an eye on that barrier, the 7th to 8th barrier. Now, what's crazy about that is, Hot Jukes, is as we're sat in the back, I don't think anybody would have been talking about Aegon I8 having a chance. But the fact that they were able to rack up 32 points in one game alone with the 22 eliminations and the victory just put them in the running once again. And over the past 2 days, I would have never, considering the performances they put on, I wouldn't have said they would have made top 7. But there is a real-world possibility that they're able to make it here in this last game.
Totally possible. And then you got those teams all the way at the bottom that, you know, they have pretty much no chance. They don't have a chance of making it here and now. So they can pretty much do whatever they want. There is a point difference. Wow. What a shot onto Vint Ores, and that is a member from FaZe Clan out, and they were at 11th place. That's honestly, that's like a dagger. That has got to hurt.
That is rough. You're not expecting to get caught out from that as soon as you're starting your rotations from places like Picardo of all places. That's, you know what? That was a cool jump. Good job, Kelsey.
Smooth.
As he's going to be riding on to the rest of his teammates and getting rendezvoused and good to go. But for FaZe, this whole last game just became a whole lot harder, and they were one of the teams in contention of trying to draw blood into that top 7.
Oh my goodness. Looking at the prize pool as well, difference between 8th place and 6th. Extra $12,000 to take to the bank here. So, I mean, it is crazy here. Even all the way down from 15th to 12th, that's a $6,000 difference, you know? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some of these teams at the bottom still want to go all out. But at the end of the day, it is all about the main stage ticket, that golden ticket, and it's going to be so close. Because again, there is what, 3, 4, 5 teams that could still potentially do it. FaZe with that loss, that's going to make it pretty tough.
Yeah, at this point, I may count them out. But, I mean, you know, anything can happen. Magic can happen. In the last 2 games, we've watched Magic happen here on the stage. But for now, we do have BTR making the move. A lot of eyes on them. A lot of fans for the Bigatron Red Villains as they are going to be entering this circle pretty rapidly, to be perfectly honest with you. But again, there's a lot of space. And the problem for all the teams is there's a lot of diverse terrain in a circle like this. You could pitch up on those southwest hills, which are very different to the northwest fields, which are very different to Los Leones. So if this circle starts hard shifting, you're having to adapt your mindset and those rotations very, very quickly.
Yeah, I mentioned it so many times before. That southern Miramar circle, the terrain is just so brutal. It's tough to navigate through. And I think looking at this zone in particular, for everybody that's looking at the map feed, you know, I think we're seeing a lot slower rotations here in this one. I think we're seeing very careful movement. Teams just leapfrogging little by little. They do not want to get caught out and lose a player early on because they need everything they can as we take a look at some of the stats from BTR.
Actually, 24 minutes average survival time is pretty darn high. So nice to see that they're able to get up there. But again, when you're only in 10th place and you still need a lot more points to actually strike out at that top 7, I guess you're going to need even more.
A lot more, to be honest, because with this point system, it's first place gets you 10 points. Not to mention you have 1 point per elimination, so a first place finish and 2 elims will get you there, you know? So the rest of these squads really need to make sure that they're putting up major points on the board.
Gamers8 moving through the middle of this circle at the moment. Now the big question is where do you even start your campaign from here on a circle like this? As I mentioned, there's a lot of varied terrain. Honestly, towards the middle of the circle, some of the compounds aren't even that great. They're not really high prio compounds. So I think that's maybe why we're seeing some slow rotations here and there. Because ideally, a lot of teams would be like, okay, the center of the circle is Impala Fields. There's 3 great locations, you know? Or, oh, the center of the circle is West of Picado. There's actually some great warehouses to take there. Center of this, I mean, there's Los Leones, and beyond that, there's some hills.
I think right now, honestly, prioritizing that high ground is going to be huge.
I would agree.
Right, just getting as much vision as you can, as much information is going to be huge. Because the zone's been going nuts all day today. It's been shifting like crazy. This Aegon I8, they cannot lose Blade. Blade desperately trying to get away. Woo, barely does in the nick of time.
Especially when Blade was so clutch for them in a lot of scenarios when they were kind of up against it in previous games throughout the last 2 days. So do not be losing Blade. He gets himself out of that. Kudos to him. Heal on up. Get back out there.
Oh, too close for comfort. And,
very.
You know, we talked about clutch factor. You know, we saw E plus Kia. They got it. Satan got it, right? These other teams are going to have to prove if they do. And it isn't going to be easy. The nerves are at an all-time high right now, folks. Let's see where this next zone's about to pop. Will it decide to center up? Will we get that desired Los Leones finish, maybe?
I'm hearing some Carnet E in the background. I don't know what's that. But anyway, we're waiting here for a second. As you say, you're seeing lots of teams coming in slope. We're heading west of Los Leones. So between Chumacera as well, it's hillside battles, baby.
Oh, yeah. That high ground is going to be so valuable. You see Bigatron already securing a nice spot in this next zone. Team Falcons, a team trying to make sure that they punch their ticket in. They're right there in 6th place. They could still get passed up potentially. They definitely want to put some points on the board and secure their ticket to the main stage.
Now all the health bars as well, a little bit misleading. I mean, you can actually also see that these teams are in the blue, so what I was about to say is a mute point. So ignore me. Yeah, they just need to heal up once they get into the circle and they'll be fine. But at least for Gladiators coming in on the west, they'll have Chumacera to move through. They could even take the high ground above Chumacera, which is very valuable, very nice. But again, it's an edge position. Big shots coming in from FaZe here. They need to salvage some points. Actually, that's a great little shot coming in against Ravenclaw, ultimately from a few members. They need any point that they can get because they were 1 man down to start things off.
Vampire Esports right now, you can see very attentive. Also, it could be a little bit of trouble for them here because right now, I think the main thing they're doing is they're obviously focused on which position is going to go next. But I think right now their main focus is what are they going to add to their shopping cart right after this?
A lot of things.
A lot of things, yeah.
and maybe a new target to try and get themselves even $2 million on the line for what's coming up for them. But yes, Vampire is actually, one was stolen during all of this here by Galacticos. And Tony K is down trying to get that recovery on. I mean, again, for them, I don't think they're really sweating too much, even though they're still taking this game very seriously.
Oh, yeah. 187 is their point system. Everybody in the U.S. knows what that means. As we take a look here at Young Galacticos shooting some vehicles, making it tough for them. Now, DRS Gaming, they want to pass up D plus Kia and secure that second place once again.
Galacticos stole the second as well. So for FaZe, who were up against it because they lost one already, yeah, they were like, wow, brilliant. 2 knocks, 2 steals away from them. They can't catch a break here.
That is so brutal. I mean, and they need those points so desperately. That would have at least tied them with BTR, but they are still so far behind in this lobby. Again, for FaZe, they need 12 points just to catch up to Aegon I8, 14 to Infinity IQ at this point. And that is only going to grow as time goes on.
So looking for some retribution there with his DMR to try and see if he could spot things. That's an interesting place to zoom in, but we'll forgive it, as we're going to be looking over once again to Galacticos and seeing if we can get anything else. But they're not really showing themselves. They can sit in those buildings for a little bit longer whilst we wait for this next circle to pop.
Yeah, you know, 10-point difference is such a scary place to be, because it's not too far away where you want to hunt down that team, take them out early and get points. No, you just want to put a major game on the board. Next zone's about to pop. If it does go to that west side, Bigatron could be in a good spot, but they are very separate right now as S2G is passing up one of their players.
Yes, they are. Alkev getting very close. Flying a little bit too close to the sun there as S2G moving on through. I did mention again in the previous game, this is our world champions or S2G. Well, I would say that they need top 7 to again prove that how strong they can still be as the world champion, because they've had a bit of a rough year thus far as things have continued on. But the great migration begins. Everybody's driving in. There's not enough compounds, certainly in here, Hot Jukes. So everybody's going to be looking for really important dips.
And let's see what dips they decide to choose. Aegon I8 need to make sure they pick a big one. Okay, we say they're going to have some sight lines on the SEM9, Athon Esports right next to them. These are 2 teams that have been struggling all tournament. If you're going to fight a squad, these may be the ones you want to go after. And I thought they were going to be able to get those shots, but instead that return fire, they are so hesitant right now.
Yep. Really trying to not take any risks here. They may have taken those shots in another scenario, in another situation, but this is not that one, as Aton is going to get away. Yes, run away across these, and well, this is a notoriously difficult vehicle to drive on Miramar when it comes to the hills, but it's doing all right.
Oh my gosh, Vampire literally at the edge of their life. Stone's like, hey, calm down, let me get a Band-Aid off here, and they're gonna go ahead and head for the shack. So Vampire, again, little victory lap right here. They got nothing to worry about, but just trying to extend their play. And you know what? This is the toughest part of the tournament, because those hesitations, right? That little second guessing because you don't want to go out could make or break this tournament for you. Sometimes you got to play the way you've normally been playing all tournament.
A push on from SEM9 here as Aton is going to actually deal with this quite handedly. There's also reinforcing shots coming in from a distance as well, though. So that's helping things out. SEM9 is being shot by a lot of teams here, but Aton's going to be bearing the brunt of a lot of that. They're taking some damage as well. Zohan's already down and done. Fran has to do something to get them out of this along with Milos.
Yeah, pretty insignificant fight right here when it comes to the leaderboards, but, you know, you could definitely see a team third party this that desperately needs those points. One of them, right? Infinity IQ, very close here. R8 up on top, looking to make some points on the board as well. And this is going to be a close one.
Come on with the VSS. Make something happen. The little P shooter. He actually doesn't have an extended mag on it either, so it's only the 10 shots for him. And he goes down to the car, the vehicle. A bit of a shame there, but it's also Kenny actually taking a lot of damage on Aegon I8. They could be taking severe damage here. Kenny somehow was able to get knocks and a finish. That's one of their players down.
Oh, brutal loss there for Aegon I8. They have to make up for it. They need to put some desperately points on the board. And let's see how they decide to do it. Valak with the nade brings Kenny down to 1 HP. But the hesitancy, they have 3 people versus 1, and they don't want to push this.
It's got to be with nades, though. You can't, because he has a DBS in hand, and they know it because of the previous knock and finish. You can't risk one more person going in there, getting knocked, and then getting finished instantly, unless they all push at the same time. That's why they're being careful. On the edges, going for the mollies, actually do catch him. I think he could heal through that, though.
But you know what they're risking?
Oh, my.
The third party.
Yes.
Again, the longer this fight goes, Kenny's going to be able to get out of it. The TBS, they have to time this perfectly. They finally take him out. So lucky for them, they do get that elimination, but very unfortunate that they lost a player in the process.
Man, Kenny was slipping as anything. He dodged so much utility during that. He really cost that on IA quite a bit, despite it only, yeah, as you said, technically being one member, but it's very important than one member. But all of that utility gone is super important as well in a finish like this.
2-point difference between Infinity IQ and Aegon I8.
Yeah.
This is going to come down to the wire. We talked about it before, that we've seen so many dreams crushed, not by just 1 point, but ties before. So let's see if, and this is it right here. This is Infinity IQ, very, very close to Team Falcons. They cannot go out.
The question is Falcons worried themselves here? I don't think there's enough teams to be able to take over Falcons in the real long run, but nades are being charged up. Sees Ferrari down there, might even go for a blow up on the car. He's actually going to spray fully into it. Has to look back down because the shots coming in, causing him some problems. But if that car was to go, Ferrari would go with it.
100%. He needs to get out of there. He knows it, but unfortunately a nade pops him right in the face, and Infinity IQ are going to lose one of their members, and Ferrari, losing him early is going to hurt.
This is deadly. They're on the bubble. They are on the bubble here. Ferrari with the boys. I mean, with Ferrari down now.
You got to hit those.
Yeah, you've got to hit it. Benzo as well, trying to go for it. There is one knock onto T.
Kaidao Lua with a beautiful knock. They get a double as well. That is going to buy them a lot of time. But S2G is stealing these points away from them. Infinity IQ need to clutch it, and they need to finish this fight.
This actually might have been a blessing in disguise that Infinity IQ needed, though, because it's alleviated pressure from them from another distance.
Huge battle!
All right, at the same time, Bigatron here going to be going down to all of this. A close range battle at the moment. Psycho in hand as well. And Bigatron is done. They will not be going to the main event.
Absolute insanity. This is what I was talking about those teams that got nothing to lose, putting it all on the line as the last game ensues, and Bigatron pay the price. D plus Kia, an absolute monster of a squad. 2 back-to-back chicken dinners, looking for possibly pulling out the third here, as Infinity IQ are just trying to stay alive with everything they have.
Yeah, so constantly teams barreling down on this position makes it really, really hard for them to survive. They're going to be done here. They are going to be going out of the main event unless they can somehow make absolute miracles occur.
Kaidao Lua, you have to pull out the clutch. You got to make it happen. Uiga down. The monster truck. It's it. It explodes, and Aegon I8 is out of there. And I guarantee you, the rest of the lobby saw that, especially the teams right next to them.
They're going to be, yeah, the teams below them, I think it was Aegon I8, as you say, here, they're just 1 or 2 points behind. All they have to do is get an elimination or 2 here or there, just keep surviving. They are on the south side of the circle, and as you mentioned, they've already lost 1, so the barrier is very up against them here.
Let's see what they're going to do. Aegon I8 still alive here as Infinity IQ goes down. They definitely want to secure this here. Let's take a look here at that battle between Bigatron and R8. Man, yep, I think this is what we're talking about, that indecision. They tried to play it safe, got rushed, and they're gone.
S2G now on the move throughout the edge, wanting to try and secure themselves at top 7, but they need some points to be able to do so. And in the distance, Icons can see them as they're trying to make those rotates. So it's quite a vulnerable spot. They're eventually going to have to crest that hill and try and get across the road. That car is unoccupied at present, so they're okay.
Take a look here again, looking at the leaderboards. Infinity IQ going out, that is that cutoff mark. Aegon I8 need at least 3 eliminations to make sure that they move on. S2G not far behind. Even FaZe, if they could pull out a miracle here, could get it done. But it's going to be very difficult.
That's a big game we're talking
about.
Yeah. That's a big game we are talking. But, you know, anything is possible. We've seen 32 points as we dropped here throughout the day, as big spray coming in from Tixi, they've done enough for the most part, as they're just looking for any little bit of extra placement that they can get some extra money on the board. Spray goes up against Donuts over in the distance. technically, maybe in nade range if you get for a jump for that, but I mean, you're wasting utility at that point.
100%. You can see the Team Falcon 6 just chilling right now, just saying, you know what? Hey, Aegon, you know, seeing Infinity IQ go out is a good thing for us. Let's just put up maybe even a couple points on the board.
Hitting Galacticos from a distance here is Gladiators as well with some of those DMRs. Realizing now driving's happening and turns away from it as just staying in the smokes here are Donuts trying to hold off on this angle.
I'll tell you what, though, if you are a Team Falcons fan, the last thing you want to see is a 1-2 finish from Aegon I8 and S2G.
Yes, so that would be terrifying.
That would be absolutely horrific for them. And Alpha 7 is going to go out. It's a monster on the leaderboard. But we could still see Gladiators now in a position to steal 4th place from them.
Yeah, with Alpha 7 having 123 points, though, there will be no change in terms of that top 7 going, of course, because you know Alpha 7 is still up in there, and there'll be not enough teams to be able to take them over ultimately. But Donuts still taking this fight against Gladiators. I feel like where has this Donuts been all tournament? I feel like they're not taking a bad fight. They're probably going to lose it out in the end, but they really gave them a run for their money.
This is what happens, right? When the end of the tournament happens, you got nothing to lose, and you start playing like yourself, but he's just a little bit too late. Let's see what Donuts can do here. Gladiators want these points because they want that 4th place finish. Difference $10,000 in prize pool. Ooh. And only a few points needed from them.
Very nicely done. Some more shots coming over the hill here. It's wow!
Donuts!
Kezamaru is actually doing quite a bit of work here against them, but he will go down. That's Donuts gone. But as I was saying, that was them holding their own in a little bit of an uncharacteristic fashion compared to what I've seen from them this tournament.
Oh, Alpha 7 was cheering the Donuts on so hard right there, and unfortunately they were not able to get it done. A huge play, though, for the Gladiators, and I believe they will be able to get everybody up, so perfectly timed for them.
Yes, they will, unless, for example, someone like FaZe crests the hill and tries to put on pressure, but it doesn't look like they're doing that right now. They are in close vicinity, but not to try and go for a huge push just yet. We're seeing D plus Kia here down towards the south. And they've got themselves 3 limbs on the board. But again, my eyes really are on Agon IA. They're still down there. It's going to be hard for them to get into this circle without taking casualties.
Oh, it's going to be so difficult. And I'll tell you what, we have noticed a difference in this last match versus the others. We already see, what is it, 5 teams out already, and it's only zone number 5. So an absolute war is happening. FaZe Clan, again, need a monster game if they want to make it in.
Mela found one as a knock. Did he get the full confirm? Regardless of the fact. They're trying to still put pressure on Vampires. They're gone down. A Galacticos here will be able to clean them up. Vampires, yes, you're down in 13th, but rest easy, friends. You have done enough for that number 1 spot.
Oh, yes, they have. This team has been unstoppable from the start of the tournament all the way to the end. As FaZe Clan pick up a member of Gladiators. Gladiators, again, trying to steal away that 4th place finish, that $10,000 difference onto Alpha 7. Can they do it?
If there was ever a time for FaZe up to be a thing, for them, they would need a monstrous game to try and make something happen here. So coming over the ridgeline, getting themselves a Gladiators member, not too bad. But here it goes, Agon IA. What are they going to do? They were in the blue, they took some damage. They're trying to move forwards against this. They've thrown down some smokes, some transitionary smokes for it. And they found themselves this little ridgeline, but it might be vulnerable from the west if Donuts eventually crests that way.
Oh, very vulnerable. That is a desperation spot if I've ever seen it right now. FaZe Clan, up against the ropes. Here comes DRS Gaming, looking to possibly even steal 2nd place away from D plus Kia. Yeah. Here they go.
The battle is ferocious there.
FaZe Clan do get 1 res. They're tied up together. 1 nade and they're out of there. Oh, Matic with the angle! Gladiators eliminating FaZe Clan.
Brutal to deal with that kind of stuff when you're seeing that, and Gladiators were more than happy to get the revenge after he was able to go for that flush. Here's Agon I8 though. They're split across this position at the moment, but I mean, D plus Kia knows that DRS is able to rack up a few points. They want these as quickly as possible, dislodge them, and it could be done.
Oh, just foresee him. Oh, Razy has the angles, the toes. Oh, Blade getting beat up. Oh, and here comes the push. Satan clutching it up last game. He's going to have those angles. Yes, he is. And Agon IA, the jump shot. 1 more. Can he get it?
It's not hitting. It was hitting the windowsill as well as the top of the window. This is rough.
enought desperately. They need every elimination point they can if they want to make their dreams come true and make it to that main stage, extending their stay or go home. Can they do it? Seyden looking to end their tournament life.
The spray of the DBS is a little bit unpredictable when you're trying to go for that jump shot. I wouldn't mind him trying for the Scar if you want to go for a jump shot like that. But you do leave yourself vulnerable knowing that your opponent's going to be doing that as well. As Seyden's moving on around DBS, and he will take them out. Aegon IA is not making it to the main event.
Absolute insanity. Now S2G have their eyes on the prize. The door has creaked open for
imagine.
S2G to make it in. And now they're pushing up against 6 from the Falcons. Only 1 player. This could be a huge point for them.
Man, imagine if the world champions make it in the last game. That would be absolutely clutch here. They've got an opportunity to do it. They've got 5 elims on the board. They're all very healthy. They can have transitions here into this circle.
Another point there. That's Team Falcons out of there. So S2G literally wide open. They need to have a monster game. 7 eliminations. They are clutching it up in the final game of this tournament. There's D plus Kia gone.
They've got room as well. The Turkish broadcast next to us is going to pop off if they're able to make it. But anyway, the 7 eliminations, as you say here, one another at the moment.
Turkish broadcast with the tears in their eyes of joy already starting to form. Will we see them fall down? Oh, it's going to be a tight one right now. Still a massive battle ahead. DRS Gaming looking to possibly even pass up D plus Kia. They've got 6 eliminations on the board. That is going to be huge. I don't know how these leaderboards are going to stack up here.
Galacticos trying to stem the tide of aggression that's going to be coming on their way, though, as DRS is kind of up against the circle here. They need to get rid of Galacticos. Aton is down. They are done here for the moment. As the peek across with the DBS, they know a close-range fight is brewing, but they're going up against Uzis and the like.
DRS still alive. S2G with a full player, and they have the full sight lines here. They're going to be able to push up. They have a bus as well, just in case. So they're going to have those angles here. DRS going up against Young on Galacticos. Cute Loki pushing up front with the DBS. One of his teammates do go down. Great angles being held from DRS Gaming, clutching it up right when they need to.
Want to launch themselves towards that second place once again here. Does actually see Romeo go maybe for a second there, but S2G, HamCG is already down. R8 was pushing on this. SKTon is on a far off angle for this to occur. Kelsey's also down. This could be Turkey's dreams going up in blaze here.
And I believe they were helped right at the last second there as Silas clutching up a beautiful shot, and I believe they are going to get those reses. So, that was way too close for comfort.
And even if they do get these reses up, teams are forming barriers around them now. R8 has already leapfrogged ahead of them. Mazexis is still alive, down in that low ground, but then it causes a problem for S2G to transition in any direction if they're able to get all the reses down.
We talked about teams at the bottom of the leaderboards that have been struggling all tournament long, now with nothing to lose, finally start playing like the way they should be. And R8 is having a monster game at the end.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, just a little too late for them.
The thing that could come back to bite them is that they are split 2-1-1 at the moment. So maybe the overextension, however, they're trying to control space. They do have a lot of high ground advantage against teams. You can see here what an angle coming in up against S2G, who are so vulnerable.
S2G needs to clutch it up here. They need to hit an insane shot. Racy, oh my gosh, getting absolutely laser beam. How did Kels actually stand up?
They're gone.
That is S2G out of there.
The world champions will not make it to the main stage here. But as we fold things down here in this game, still plenty of money to be up for grabs. And DRS wants that second place.
Yes, they do. DRS still in it here as R8 having their way with this lobby. Yangon Galacticos going to go ahead and get a player. That's going to be Delta. Gante with that angle, tries to catch Cute Loki, just misses the mark and gives away his position.
SKTon here, charging up for, that looked like a smoke actually, not a nade, but so going to be throwing that forward to cause a little bit of disruption for the moment here. Galacticos trying to block some of their lines of sight. DRS only 1 member remaining. They need still a few more points to try and catch up to the D plus Kia position of second place. But R8, man, they came alive. They had them, 14 eliminations so far. They really want some extra money on the board.
Oh, yes, they do. If you are R8, this is the game that you were looking for, and I guarantee you they're most likely going to be jumping up this leaderboard with how many eliminations they have, 15, 60. They're looking to make a record here at the end of this tournament.
Maybe. Galacticos, though, 3 alive still. DRS is gone. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the full standings at the second place. We'll find out later. But now Mazex is down as well. It's Galacticos versus R8.
R8, 17 eliminations. 3 players left on the board for Yangon, trying to break that 20-point, that magical 20 eliminations in one game. That's going to give them 30 points if they get it. They need to execute this perfectly.
Where was R8 before all of this?
I do not know, and I don't know either. That's going to make things interesting.
You know what? We'll just leave it as a question mark for the moment because we have got ourselves the potential of them getting a 30-point win overall.
Oh, what a shot from Ragnarok.
Brilliant stuff.
Beautiful shot there. He's going to go in with another, and that is the game. R8 clutching it up and taking every single elimination point with them.
The first team we interviewed at the tournament here for the Saudi Arabian crowd, and R8 finishes off All-Stars with a win. 30 points on the board. It might not be enough to get them into the main event, but what a victory here at the end. 30 points.
Oh, an incredible victory. The stadium has erupted for them. What a way to go out and impress your hometown folks. Beautifully done from them. Craziness all over the place. I mean, it was so crazy to see how tight this 7th place to 8th place differential was. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know who made it in there right there at the edge.
And for R8, you can see them there as well, cleaning things up, good to go. But I mean, I said at the day number 1 that this is a better team than sitting in kind of the bottom 4 of this. And indeed, they have been able to prove themselves. Again, not able to get to that main tournament, but probably around 90-some points on the board here for R8 after what is a huge victory.
And I can see the look on their faces. I can already tell what they're thinking. You see the hands on the head, and they're just thinking, why didn't we play like this earlier on? You know, we had it in us. You know, we just finally played the way we've been waiting for and have the most monstrous game, but it's just too late. This is the thing that just really gut-wrenches me the most about esports, but this is what I've been talking about, is you may have those nerves, but you gotta shake them off early. And that is going to be it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take it on over to the